Hey y'all, today the road brings me to Lexington, South Carolina, and I am at the Lexington Historical Village. This historical village has been recreated of multiple buildings that have been moved from various parts in the area to this one 7-acre location. And we are going to go into some of the buildings and learn a little bit about the history here. And we'll get started right after this station identification.
Now was just county land, and it functions now as like a good transition. So that house is original to the site. It was built there in 1830, and the house across the way is a private residence now. It's not part of the museum, but that was built around the same time period, 1820 to 1830. Okay. So that's kind of what the neighborhood looked like.
So this is the old schoolhouse from around 1815 that has been moved here from Mineral Springs area about 5 miles away. So this is the dunce stool. These are lunch pails that the children would bring their lunches in. Anything from a basket to a can with a lid on it. How cool is that? So this house was moved here from the near Chafin area, and the spot that this house sat on is now under Lake Murray.
This is the Daniel Kuhn house, and it was built around 1810. And Daniel Kuhn was a faith healer.
Oh wow.
He had powers to put out fires. He had power to heal warts or heal illness. And if you, he also supposedly had the power to make bullets miss their target. Really? So basically, in some periods of history, we would say Daniel was a witch. Yeah. Well, was out doing chores when the federal troops came to the area and they wanted to plunder his house, and they came within sight of the house, and his dogs alerted and started barking at the troops. So the order was given to fire at the dogs, and when the smoke cleared, the dogs resumed barking. And so the soldiers thought, well, that's strange, so they decided to try it one more time. So they reloaded and aimed and fired at the dogs. The smoke cleared. The dogs were unharmed. And then the next thing they knew, an old man came wandering from behind the house, and he was carrying a metal wash bucket. And when he got within sight of the soldiers, he started rattling the wash bucket and dumped out all their bullets. Oh, wow. And they got spooked and they left him alone. And that's the story of how the house survived the Civil War.
This was originally a post office.
It was originally a doctor's office, and then it became the Lexington post office. Okay,
and it wasn't on this area either.
No, but it was just down the road. It was, if you follow this road all the way to Main Street.
Okay. So this is the John Fox house from 1832, and it is still on the original site. So the John Fox house, I'm gonna call out, it is painted, the porch is painted Hank blue. And they say to ward off spirits, but also it really makes insects not want to come up under your porch. So all the furniture in this house was made in the Lexington area, And that's pretty cool. Wow, that's some blue paint. I imagine this was a back porch.
Yeah, at some point it was, and they enclosed it and made a dining room.
That is salt. Well, I was wrong. That's sugar. Oh, I did this in that shape. So here's a picture of John Fox, around 70 years old. So when would this have been taken?
Around 1870.
Yeah.
We dress up and reenact scary skits.
Mm-hmm.
But there was one, I had a friend of mine come on one of these skits, and I said, "Were you scared?" And she said, "Not really. The only thing that was really creepy was when I got to the back of the house and saw one of the actors pull back the curtain and look out, and I said, there was nobody in the house." So this one.
So originally these were slave cabins, but they have been attached to the house and are, one's now a kitchen.
Yeah, one's a display kitchen. This one had originally been a kitchen.
Oh wow.
So everything in here are things that you would have found in a kitchen in the 1850s.
And this is not just any old kitchen, this is state-of-the-art kitchen. Yeah. Clay pottery and a candle mold. So that would be a pigeon house for raising pigeons for food. So the little holes are so the pigeons can come and go, but a smart pigeon may not want to come back because if he's grabbed, he'll be supper.
Of $115,000 worth of smoked pork.
Wow. Look at all those hams. How many thousand?
115.
So $115,000 worth of pork would be stored in this smokehouse. This trough would be where they put salt to cure the meat. Because in those days they did not have refrigeration, and salt is how you would preserve your meat. Here's a big slab of bacon.
This is the Sen cabin. It's a 1700s cabin, 1770s. And this was located where the Lexington Medical Center is today, off of the Saluda River back there.
Okay. My primitive textiles. Okay.
So this is the Loric family cabin.
And where would this have been?
This was off of Broad River Road in
Okay.
Columbia, which is Lexington County.
Yeah, that's a pretty, I guess, substantial house. It might not have been for just a dirt farmer.
And this age that it's dovetailed in the area, so that's kind of unique.
So these logs are dovetailed, and because they are, you notice there's no chinking. And they say that before this was blown down by a tornado, that the logs fit even tighter. Now the guy that built this house on a grist mill, is that right?
Yeah, and sawmill.
And sawmill. So this was a porch. And I can guess it because of the windows. I wonder when this was added on.
1840s probably.
So if the porch was covered in around 1840s.
It's kind of cool.
In the brick. Oh, so those bricks would be really old? Would these bricks be part of this house originally, or just?
Probably.
Wow.
Now the ones out in the outside,
Yeah.
those were modeled after what was here. They left the chimneys. So this came from the intersection of 378 and 20, I-20.
So this was in the middle of 378 and I-20?
Yep.
Well, I guess they had to move it.
Both there, so it's kind of a behind the scenes.
Okay.
So that curtain came from the Leesville Theater, and it was a vaudeville theater.
Really?
And when they got ready to demolish it, the fire department saved the curtain, and it was kept in the fire department for years and years and years until they realized that it probably wasn't doing good, rolled up. So they donated it to us. But it was
Wow.
just an advertising curtain that they hung before the show.
So how low would that have been?
Let's say circa 1915.
Really? And the theater's gone now.
Yep.
This is the Manly portable Convict car. The car that has made possible the economical, safe, and humane housing of convicts at night or on the public road work. And here is the advertisement for the Manly portable Convict car. You can see the beds that the convicts would sleep in. And you don't want your convicts to freeze, so we give them a little wood heater. This is a cotton gin. It was powered by a mule. There would be a bar that was placed into one of these holes, and a mule would be hooked up to it, and the mule would just go around and around up under this barn and turn this wheel that would in turn turn this wheel, and it's chained up so I can't turn it too much. But look, it still works. I was told that several years ago in the late 90s, early 2000, a tornado went through here and actually took this building and blew it across the street. So they picked up the pieces and brought them back and redid the cotton gin right here on this site. This monument was relocated from the northeast corner of North Church and West Butler Streets to the Lexington County Museum. This is to commemorate something that happened near here. Around 1888, near this site, Charles D. Tillman was conducting a tent revival and first heard a local Negro spiritual, Old Time Religion. Tillman had the song leader assist him in notating the music and the lyrics. It is now seen in nearly every gospel songbook sung in languages around the world. This was first put up in April the 4th of 1976. And you remember the old time religion? Give me that old time religion, give me that old time religion, give me that old time religion, it's good enough for me. Well, that's going to be a wrap for our trip to the Lexington County Historical Museum. I hope you've enjoyed this. You know, I love learning about our past and our history, and I hope you do too. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give me a big old thumbs up. Be sure to share this video with your family and friends. But until next time, y'all have a good day.